Well, we're taking our Riversport update this week on the road, or to the lake as it is. Dave Morris alongside Mike Knopp, the Executive Director of the Oklahoma City Boathouse Foundation. And since we started doing weekly updates on News OK at the Oklahoma's video studio on Monday mornings, you've been talking about how Riversport is more than just out by the Oklahoma River. It's more than just the Riversport Rapids, the Oklahoma River, the boathouses there. There's Lake Overholser, there's Lake Hefner, and here we are at Overholser, and it's a fantastic morning. What all are we looking at here?
Sure. Well, we're at the Lake Overholser Boathouse, and you know this is really unique because first of all, this is where we began. 20 years ago, all of the rowing programming that has really flourished in the Boathouse District started here, and so over the last couple of years, we've done a big renovation, and so we're standing here right next to the renovated Lake Overholser Boathouse, which has a cafe. We have the Trailhead Cafe, because it sits right on the trail that you can get throughout. You can get to Oklahoma, get to the Boathouse District from this trail. So it's a great place to begin your ride or end your ride or your run. We also have all these adventure attractions here as well, which we're standing right in front of here. A zip line that goes across, a double zip line across the river, and a big climbing wall, and a giant swing that swings you over the river. So very different out here. I mean, really natural, beautiful with the wildlife refuge, and we're really trying to promote the idea that if you go down to the Boathouse District, you've just seen part of it all. So,
as you mentioned, this was the start of it all, and in fact, we're on the west side of Oklahoma City. If you don't know exactly where we are, Lake Overholser is on the west side of Oklahoma City, right off Route 66. To the south, there's the dam down there as well. But you're literally like a street away, a block away from city life, and then bang, this is like you're at a lake outside of Oklahoma City.
Yeah. We kind of see this place as kind of like a retreat. I mean, it's right in our own backyard, but as you say, you feel like you're really out in nature here. And what's really unique about that is you can come out here, spend the day just playing like you would in the Boathouse District, but you can also then venture up into the wildlife refuge, the Stinchcombe Wildlife Refuge, and really just feel like you're completely in the middle of the wilderness, yet you're in Oklahoma City.
They do feature day passes, they feature annual passes, and you can a la carte that or get some all-inclusive, but that all-inclusive would include some of the items he's mentioned. But give us a little more detail of how you can really get away from the city into that refuge, and it's just a completely different experience.
Sure. Well, when you come out here, you can rent a kayak or a stand-up paddleboard, and you can paddle up there yourself. Or we now have a shuttle service that you can get on a big pontoon boat right up there, a few miles up in the preserve, and we drop you off, and then you can go explore up there. And when you're up there, there's several miles of river in the wilderness, in the refuge, and you can explore wetlands and spend several hours up there if you want. But it's just past the old Route 66 bridge, and then you paddle back, and you can kind of hang out and do other things here. So there's a lot of, we try to make it easy to get up there, but if you want to get on the shuttle and go up, and we do that at noon and 2 o'clock on weekends, on Saturday and Sunday. Or you can just paddle up there yourself and go for spend the day. So
you're a man with a ton of ideas, thus the creation of this and down at the boathouse. When you look around here, I'm sure you're probably thinking, well, we could do X, we could do Y, we could do Z. What are some of the things that may be in the future for this area?
Well, we want to really kind of continue to promote the natural nature aspect of this. We don't want to disturb that. And for us, it's a lot about programming and doing more we have a lot of camps for kids and adults, adult programming here. We're going to add more rowing programs out here in the future, but the idea that you could bring your kids to an adventure camp and then you could go take a kayak class, we want to continue to grow that aspect. It's a great place for birthday parties. We have this what we call the Lacey Landing, which is across the river in our other boathouse that is here that's also been renovated. It's a beautiful deck right on the side of the river, and so we're gonna, we see that as a great place for people to have let's say a Boy Scout event or a Girl Scout event, and or just some kind of community festivals we can see happening here. We've just added a pump track, a little mountain bike feature across the river, which is similar to what we have in the Boathouse District, but yet a little different here. And we're going to, so those are the kinds of things that we're going to kind of keep adding that kind of fit in the connect here without disturbing the landscape.
You mentioned that Lacey Landing. There's a large swan, maybe two of them that you could paddle around in, right?
Yeah, we do have some big, we call them bird boats, multiple big pedal boats, and if you don't want to take a kayak out, it's a lot of fun, and just pedal around the river.
We mentioned the river, the water sport aspect of this, but I see a lot of people walking and running this morning and biking. I'm assuming those bikes back there, the Trek bikes, are available for rental?
Yes, we do have rental bikes, and so again, you can start your bike ride here. And what's so cool about this is the trail system here. We now have the trail that links Lake Overholser again with the river trails that lead you to the Boathouse District. So that West River Trail was open last year. It's beautiful, and so you could get on your bike and head that way, or you can go the other way, which essentially could take you either around Lake Overholser or to Lake Hefner. So, but we do have bikes that you can just, it's part of your pass when you come, or you can just rent them separately, or you could take a bike and go get on our pump track here as well. So a lot of different ways to use a bike here in at Lake Overholser.
I mentioned this before. My colleague Phil O'Connor back at the Oklahoman, we've both gotten our bikes this summer and just cruised around a ton. Yeah. So we've done a lot of exploring along the Oklahoma River. He's actually done the trip you're talking about from the river to here up to Hefner and back. Yeah. It's a great experience. It's a lot of fun to explore it as well, just to kind of figure out and see where that path and that trail takes you. Yeah. But I mean, how gorgeous is this?
Yeah, it's great. And I think, and that's going to continue to expand, with Maps 3 and our trail system. And so I think, when you go from here to the Boathouse District, I mean, you cross like 3 streets along the whole way. And that's pretty remarkable for an urban area to be able to have that kind of ride and that length of a ride that you're out of traffic. And so I think that what we're seeing is just getting more people active, more people on a bike or running or walking, and so and that's one of it's part of the vision we saw for this place, is to really promote that, make it easy to come out. You don't even have to have your own bike. I mean, just come out here and we'll get you on a bike that we work with Schlegel bicycles on that, and so we got some great bikes, and we actually have a bike repair station here too that's free, that if you are on a bike and you get a flat tire, we can deal with that too. So yeah, so that does happen occasionally. Yeah.
All right, Mike, I'll give you the final word. Upcoming events. We were talking earlier about some fireworks. Looks like this would be a great place to see some fireworks.
It really is. I mean, this lake is beautiful. You've got just to go paddle out here on the 4th of July, and you can see the Yukon fireworks, Bethany fireworks, and so really neat place to do that. We're going to have activities here all summer, and just we encourage people to come out and spend the weekend. One cool thing is if you have a pass, an all-access pass or an annual pass, you can come here one weekend. It's also good for the Boathouse District. So you go whitewater rafting one weekend and go explore the wildlife refuge the next here. And as you look across the river, we've got this tower, but on that tower we also have a climbing wall, but we have a stunt jump. And Dave, we should have made you do that this morning, but it's
or not.
Yeah, it's about a 20-foot free fall into a big airbag. It's a lot of fun. So kind of unique. We don't have that downtown, and then this big swing that cranks you up about 40 feet, and you swing over the river. And so just a lot of we kind of authentic thrills and fun that people can have out here. And like I said, I encourage, the summer is a great time to come explore.
It is the first day of summer after all, and we're looking at some warm temperatures ahead of us. Come get cooled off among the many river sport adventures you can get into. Mike, as always, we appreciate the time and the help.
Well, thank you, Dave, and we love showing off all these great adventures here in Oklahoma City.
All right, more information can be found on the website at riversportokc.org.